Hey guys, rdapdan here. Today I was asked to do a video from a friend, Emily, on Facebook, doing a project for my social work class on social services within the correctional facilities. Will you do a 5 to 7 minute talk about RDAP program and the benefits? So not a problem. My name is Daniel Wise. I was sentenced to 42 months in federal prison in September of 2014. My federal prison number is 02773-104. I was sent to Coleman, Florida, which is in Central Florida, to a prison called Coleman Low. RDAP is a residential drug addiction program. In order to qualify for the RDAP program, prior to actually getting into the program, at the time of pleading guilty or being found guilty, you're sent to the United States Probation Department, where they do a PSR, pre-sentencing investigation on you prior to getting your sentence. During that time, they ask you a million different questions about your entire life history, drug dependencies, chemical dependencies, alcohol dependencies, anything that could be considered mind-altering. So when they interviewed me, I explained to them that I used marijuana on a regular basis and I drank on a regular basis, and that I had used marijuana and drank within 12 months of my arrest date. In order to qualify for RDAP, you have to show that you had some sort of abuse problem within 12 months prior to being arrested. If your drug addiction was years ago and you've been clean the entire time, that's going to disqualify you from the RDAP program. Also, any type of violent crimes, gun charges, child sex offenders, that all can be disqualified for the RDAP program. So RDAP is basically set up for somebody that has a chemical dependency of some sort and is considered a low risk or low criminal points in order to get into the program. Now, the huge benefit why everybody wants to take the RDAP program immediately is if you successfully complete the 9 to 12 month intense inpatient program, you can receive up to a year off of your prison sentence. So it's a huge incentive for everybody to want to get into the program. Now, getting in the program is only half the battle. Once you get into the program, it's definitely no walk in the park. And for myself, I thought this was going to be super easy because I didn't see myself as having a huge drug problem. I just saw as using that as a way to get into RDAP to save a year off of my prison sentence. So once I got into the RDAP program, I found out right away that it was anything but easy. You're in a special housing unit, and in my case, there's about 150 other guys that are in that unit. They're all RDAP people, so everybody in there is an RDAP inmate. And it's not as much spent on drugs and alcohol as it is on behavior modification, checking your thinking what caused you to go wrong to begin with, what allowed you to make these mistakes, and not just using drugs and alcohol, but to committing crimes, justifying, blaming other people for our situation, saying, oh, the feds are out to get me, or this person snitched on me, or I didn't do it, I didn't know what I was doing was wrong. It's all about completely accepting responsibility. And that part was really hard for me because I didn't see how many issues I really had until I got into the program. And part of the program in RDAP is community members are held to a standard to where we have to hold each other accountable. So if somebody sees me doing something wrong, it could be something as simple as cutting in line to go to the chow hall, or taking a piece of chicken out of the chow hall. And then morning meeting for RDAP, because we have morning meetings Monday through Friday, somebody will stand me up in front of the whole community and say, Mr. Wise, I'm pulling you up today. Yesterday I saw you take chicken out of the chow hall. You're struggling with honesty. What you did was a dishonest behavior. You're showing criminal thinking. This type of thinking and actions can lead you back to coming into prison, because if you're doing it here and you're doing it now, it's only going to get out of control and you get back out onto the street. So you're standing up in front of the whole community, and then you get feedback from the community, and then somebody can give you like an intervention, tell you for the next 5 days, I'd like you to eat with another RDAP member, make sure that you're paying attention of your surroundings and you're basically not doing these things. So even with somebody telling you what you're doing wrong, if you're not willing to change and willing to see that it's an issue, yeah, you might say to yourself, oh, it's just a piece of chicken, but it's that thinking of you're doing something that you're not supposed to do, regardless whether it's chicken or $1 million in the bank. You're breaking a social rule or you're breaking a serious rule, and they just get out of control. So there's tools they start teaching you in RDAP. We have a series of books that we had to go through and use. There's 7 different books, and out of those 7 books, The one that I think, to me, that stands out the most was, it's a criminal lifestyles book, and they go over something in this book called RSAs, which stands for Rational Self-Analysis. And what it does is it helps you check your thinking to make sure that you're doing the right thing in the moment. And initially, you might not be able to do an RSA on the spot, the average person. So they have to take time, write them down on a piece of paper, and move forward from there. What I found for me is doing on-the-spot RSAs. They're real important because it allows me to check my thinking and immediately focus on what the consequence could be. So everybody's had probably this situation where basically on an RSA, you've got your A, B, and C, activating event, beliefs, and your consequences. So I'm sure everybody's been in a car at one point or time where somebody's cut them off. So if, say you're activating event, you were driving and you got cut off. Immediately you go into your beliefs. You might start thinking, man, this guy was a jerk, he did it on purpose, he's trying to cut people off. Whatever your reason is, you're allowing yourself to think something without really knowing any of the facts. Then you might jump into your consequences. You're like, I'm going to cut this guy back off. So you attempt, you speed after him, cut him off, whatever happens. Your consequences could end up in crashed the car, you got arrested, or even could have killed yourself or killed somebody else. You've got, on those actions, you've got a feeling. Now you feel upset, you're sitting in jail, you're depressed, you're lonely. All these different things happen because your beliefs weren't in check. On the other side, you've got your camera check, your rational challenge, and your desired consequence. So as soon as you get to this activating event, and I was cut off, and your beliefs were, he did it to be a jerk, you immediately challenge that thought. Instead of just assuming that's what really happened, you can challenge that thought and say, you know, maybe the guy didn't see me. Maybe he didn't realize he did it. It's not that big of a deal. Your desired consequence, you pull over, you take a moment, you let yourself cool down, you go about your business. Your feeling now is you feel relaxed, it's no big deal. Now that sounds so simple, but it happens every day. People get stuck in their beliefs. And for me, RDAP has really taught me how to take responsibility for how I feel and not allow myself to act on impulse and act on my beliefs. I try to stick to the facts. If I don't know why somebody's doing something, I'm not just going to assume they're doing it for any particular reason. I really don't know. RDAP for me was an amazing wake-up call. It's helped me start this RDAP channel, rdapdan. I still wear these bracelets, or RDAP bracelets, that were given to me in the RDAP program. I wear them as a sign to remind me of where I've been and what I've done. And the modification treatment in RDAP, if you accept your situation and you better yourself from this program, you can actually come back out into the real world a better person than you were when you went into prison. Regardless of your drug addiction or alcohol, it's more about you and how you can become a better person. So I hope this video was informative. It might be a little bit longer than 5 to 7 minutes, so we'll see. But anyway, I'm rdapdan. Anybody wants to check out my YouTube, just go to YouTube, rdapdan. Find me on there. Find me on Facebook, rdapdan. Thanks guys, take care.